That is still my favorite movie of the whole
So
thing.
if you're joining us on the YouTube side, we're live on YouTube finally.
We've been live on Facebook for approximately 4 or 5 minutes.
So we were having some
8
issues on
minutes
this
ago.
side. I look like a giant man, little table and this little chair.
You are a giant man.
I look like hello.
The lighting is a little bright. I mean, I love lighting, but dang. Okay, for you guys, welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Thank you for watching us on Facebook and YouTube. You can also find us on the Twitter, Instagram, and now we're going to talk about movies now that you're all caught up. And yes, I'm wearing a Rogue One shirt because that's my favorite movie.
I have a Pod Racer shirt.
And you like the pod races and not us.
Well, this shirt came with a Smuggler's Bounty thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You have pretty eyes.
I'm aware. And then I also have one of my 501st shirts. Nice. Blizzard Force. And it's the first order Blizzard Force, so it matches the movie.
I saw that, and I saw them in the movie, and I was like, that's you.
But I'm not. I'm Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
So anyways, welcome to part of my office. If you're just joining us, you're now seeing part of my office. This is a stalking animal coming up the stairs. This is only part of my room behind us. There's also
I gotta pull up my pants.
Part over there. There's a part over here. There's a part over there. But we decided, since Watto's the newest member of the collection, that he would get screen time today. We got Yoda over here. We got Jar Jar over there. We got Leia over here.
We like Jar Jar. I don't care what you say.
I do like Jar Jar. Jar Jar's awesome. All right, so moving on. So we are going to talk a lot of Star Wars, but we want to get through some other stuff real fast first. So do you want me to talk about the couple of Blu-rays or DVDs that I have first, or do you want to talk about Bombshell first?
Either one. Why don't we go back and forth? Start with one of yours, and then we'll
How about just do these two real quick and be short?
Okay. Thank you for wearing pants today, by the way.
Yeah. Now you can see my knee, so I can do this.
This is scandalous.
Luckily, I marked the YouTube as not for kids, so I can do this. So we have two.
It's a cat. I was like, what is that?
You never know what's in my office up here. My art studio is over here, so you can't see it. Maybe one other day we'll do another shot of a different angle, because all my drawing happens over here. All the computer in this happens over here. My TV watching happens back here.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, thank you. Somebody liked my leg. So I got two Blu-rays I'm going to talk about. I got two Blu-rays. One's an older movie that's a collector's edition released from Shout Factory.
Shout.
Then the other one's a brand new horror film.
So horror.
The first one that we're going to talk about from Shout Factory.
Shout.
Is actually really meaningful to me.
It is.
Because, as you know, I have a deep love for werewolves. All things werewolves.
He's team werewolf. I'm team vampire.
And all things werewolves I watch. I love werewolves. I recognize when it's a bad movie or whatever, but I love it.
You can see a cat tail.
Vader tail. The cat left because of Vader.
Okay, Vader sit there and guard the door.
I've often sat and wondered, when did this start? And I know one of them is the original the Wolfman movie from the 40s or whatever it is. But the other one, it didn't dawn on me until I rewatched this, as this was part of the spawn of my love of werewolves. Because me and my best friend used to watch this movie all the time and quote it.
Oh.
My friend more than me, but it is Silver Bullet.
Nice.
Hopefully, sorry with the glare. Shout Factory is releasing this. They just released this new collector's edition of Silver Bullet. If you didn't know, it is a Stephen King movie. It stars the late Corey Haim in one of his first film roles.
One of the Coreys.
Yeah, this is one of his first film roles. Before it was the Corey and Corey, it was just Corey. And it's got Gary Busey, who has tons of quotable lines from this movie.
Gary Busey.
He tells...
That's my impression.
Thank you. He does two things my best friend used to always recite. He would do one where he unveils like this wheelchair motorcycle to his nephew, and he goes, ta-da! So Danny, my friend, used to do that every time he presented something. And then the other one was, it sounds racist. Vader, what are you doing back there? It sounds racist, but he's actually talking about baseball teams, but he's like, piss on the Indians, but he's actually talking about the different teams. Nice. And so that used to be a running joke. So anyway, this new collector's edition is actually really good. If you don't know the movie, it's about this little handicapped boy who's played by Corey Haim. He's in a wheelchair, but he's got a cool motorized wheelchair, but it's like motorcycle.
Nice.
Like he's got an old wheelchair that his uncle has put like motorcycle handlebars on it, and it's got a motor, so he reels around.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he makes him one called the Silver Bullet that looks like a trike.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
He's got that. So it's got a double meaning. The trike is a silver bullet, and then also you need a silver bullet to kill the werewolf. And then there's people being killed, so there's a mystery of who's killing people. So its unfolding of who is this werewolf and if the werewolf exists and all that stuff. And it's got a fun twist. And somebody posted when I posted the review for this the other day that this box art, which I know it's hard to see with the lighting, might be one of the best renditions of what's actually in a movie ever. So I'm going to show it to you because you've never seen this, right?
That looks good on the screen.
You've never seen this movie,
I have
right?
not seen this.
So I want you to look at it and see if you can.
The only thing I know about werewolves is Michael J. Fox.
That would be Teen Wolf. But I want you to see this picture and then tell me if it even makes sense to you. All right?
Okay. So there's a werewolf with a firework going into his eye. Somebody's got a bat.
That's the werewolf has the bat.
Oh, the werewolf he's breaking free of a collar. What's the kite about? And then why is a little boy being chased by a car? Who would chase a little kid in a wheelchair when? And
all this is in the movie, and it is all part of the story. It is a perfect connection to everything that happens in the movie.
All right.
And it's practical effects, so when you do get the werewolf,
I love that
man in suit, there's a great transformation sequence that's up there. Maybe not complete, but up there with the American Werewolf in London. A great movie. I love this movie. It's so good. This will be coming out this week. No, it's already out. It just hit last week. So this one's out.
Available now.
From Shout Factory.
Shout.
It says part human, part wolf. Total terror. Dun, dun, dun. And it's from one of called Cycle of the Werewolf. It's one of his little novelette type things, not his full novels.
Cool.
The other one is another slasher type flick.
Nice.
That's from Patrick Lussier and Todd Farmer, who did the remake of My Bloody Valentine. I believe they did Jason X. They did Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage. So I'm kind of a fan of a lot of their crazy stuff. But they have this movie that came out called Trick. And essentially the main story is just like a lot of the slasher films like Valentine and stuff like that, where it's a guy and there's kids in class and he ends up murdering them or whatever. But the difference with this one is this: you don't start off with like a bullied kid. Like you start off at a party and this guy that you see who he is starts killing everybody at this party.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then they take him out. So what happens is, you know how we always have stories of like every year this person comes back and you deal with that 1 year and at one time he comes back.
Yes.
This one goes through a few different years of him keep coming back.
Oh, cool.
And Omar Epps is a police officer obsessed with catching him.
I see.
Who's convinced he killed him, but he keeps coming back. No one believes him. They know this guy named Trick is dead.
Yeah.
So they know who Trick is because they originally caught him and or killed him. I'm not going to tell you what happened. So they know who the killer is.
Gotcha.
But now they're like, he keeps coming back every Halloween and he keeps killing
just
people
like
in different ways.
Good killer
and
should.
So, but then there's a twist. So it's got some good kills. It's fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a great little, the end twist I kind of saw coming, and it wasn't totally what I'd hoped they were going to do, and it didn't totally work, but it worked well enough that it still made a good movie, and I could see them doing more of them in a different way. So Trek, I don't remember if it just came out this week or if it's either already out or it's coming out this week. I don't remember now. But you can check out Trick. It's from I always mess it up. RLJE Films coming out. But it's Omar Epps. It's also got, what's his name?
Omar Epps.
Jamie Kennedy's in it, sort of. Barely. Tom Atkins, who's in it. He's a big horror guy. And this guy, you've seen that guy. This old guy. Like,
yes.
Anyway, so those two. Check it out. Now we're moving on to some bigger stuff.
All right. What else we got? Now we're going to talk about the movie Bombshell.
Bombshell.
All right. So what is Bombshell about?
You tell me.
Bombshell
Do I need to
has
tell you, or do you need
Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie. And it's a movie based
within a movie
based on the real life situation that happened at Fox News with
Roger Ailes,
and then also involved a couple of other guys there.
Megyn Kelly and
anyways, yeah. So they play Megyn Kelly and whoever else. First of all, whoever they were. But here's the thing: this story is cray cray, and it's a precursor to the whole Me Too issue.
It kind of, I believe, it was part of the thing that kickstarted it, along with what's her name? Rose McGowan.
Rose.
Yes. I forgot who the other person. They were all kind of involved. That really.
Man, this movie is crazy. Are you okay?
I swallowed my Nutter Butter wrong.
Oh Lord, the dog came to check on you. There you go.
No, he came for the Nutter Butter. He let me die and he eat it out of my mouth.
Probably so. Anyway, so you had previously seen the miniseries with
The Loudest
Russell
Voice.
Crowe, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of dealing with that.
Well,
so tell
what
me
it
about
was,
that, 'cause
okay,
that
so
kinda leads
the
into
Loudest
this.
Voice, I believe it was a Showtime miniseries. It is actually focused on the rise of Roger Ailes. So his whole building of Fox News. So it's not just focused on the scandal. So it's starting where he built Fox News, how he got it to where it was at. But then, of course, the scandal part of it kicks in. So it's essentially the rise and fall of Roger Ailes, with Russell Crowe playing Roger Ailes.
Gotcha.
And it's an amazing miniseries. So it's not just the sexual misconduct, if you want to say allegations. It's everything in the Roger Ailes thing. So the one thing about it, and compared to Bombshell, is you learn more about Roger Ailes and about the ladies in the other miniseries. So it's a lot more impactful. The biggest thing I have an issue with, and again, Bombshell's a great movie, I'll just say that, but I felt a little left hanging. Like, I didn't feel the impact as much as I thought I would, but I think that's because I'd seen the other one first. Had I not seen that, I don't think it would have affected it.
Yeah, see, and I didn't see the miniseries. So to me, this movie was just like, what? Like, I was in the theater, I'm like, what? Like, how can this be happening? Well, and how did no one say anything? And
well, what I found interesting,
it's crazy,
is they used, I don't know, I'm over self-consciously covering my knee now that I know someone's staring at it. They used the three women because they're all different. They're there at the same time, but they're all different generations of the news broadcast.
Yeah.
You have one who used to be the bigger one, and she's been kind of pushed to the side. You have the one that's the current bigwig, and you have the one that's the rising
star.
And I think what they did kind of smart is they used them as, without time jumping, as the time jump.
Yeah.
Because they're three different people going through the same thing, but don't know it and don't know each other really. They do, but they don't. And that's kind of how you get the time period jumps, because you have three different people in different places in their career. I don't know if you got that or not.
Yeah, no, I did get that. And I think there's two things.
You have a super shiny forehead with these lights.
I know.
You're probably blinding somebody.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, go ahead.
I have a big forehead. No, on my screen it's not as bad.
You're fine.
Anyways, gosh, that's all I'm thinking.
My knee, your forehead, everything's falling
I need
apart.
a cap. I need a baseball cap. No, what I was thinking in this movie though is that obviously a lot of people knew this was happening.
I can handcuff you.
It happened to a lot of people, right? Well, some of it was completely like sexual. Some of it was
all sexual.
I know, but some of it, like, no, there was no physical touching. It was very emotional, manipulative.
Actually, I think everything was a physical touch.
Well,
in the movie, you don't see all that.
There's one girl that she's like, no, he never touched me, but he would always like try to.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And the other girl, like, totally just, it happened. And
can he have a nutter butter?
I guess he can technically eat peanut butter. Why not? It's probably.
Go ahead. I'm gonna look at the ingredients.
The thing that disturbs me though the most is that the man had
I'm sorry, there's thiamine you can't have that.
He had his little locked office, right? And he had his secretary outside controlling the locked door.
And his wife.
That lady knew.
I think his wife knew too. Because there's elements where, remember there's a scene in the movie where the wife takes the girl all the way to the office, takes her in there, then leaves and shuts the door. And has that look on her face, like, she's going to be another one.
I don't know. It's just disturbing to me that this would happen. Hi, everybody that's logging in. And then there's one sad point in the movie where where the younger girl, which is Margot Robbie, I don't think this is a spoiler movie. You just go read about it. Tells one of the older ladies.
If you don't know about it, you need to watch the news once in a while.
Is like, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you tell somebody? Because this now has happened to me because you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Which is true. But then again, you get into the whole thing, victims and the trauma and all that. It's just, this whole movie made me so angry.
I can't even move my leg now. It looks like I'm weird.
I'm sorry. It just made me angry. You've got to watch the movie. It's Bombshell, and it's really good, and it's amazing.
If you get a chance, if you have a Hulu or whatever, or not Hulu, but the Showtime app or stuff, or check out The Loudest Voice. Personally, watch it first, then go watch Bombshell. To me, it felt like way more complete.
Yeah.
Like, I already knew going in the scandal. I knew what happened prior. I knew what happened afterwards. But this one's handled in a different way.
Yeah.
And you get some stuff that it's focused on the women, where in the other movie it's focused on
him.
Els.
Yeah.
So you're getting like a full, complete, and
by the way, he nasty.
And yeah, very much so. And
how come these men that are trying to like?
They're always gross.
Yeah. Push themselves on women are like.
And I want to tell you that
men.
John Lithgow is amazing.
He was really good.
Not only is his makeup amazing, like he is such a nice man. It was so weird to see him creepy.
Yeah, he
like
was
Russell Crowe,
total creeper.
I don't think is like a horrible human, but we've seen him play crazy characters and angry characters.
Russell Crowe's nice until he's not, from what it looks like.
Yeah,
when he gets mad, he gets mad.
He's Australian.
Yeah. Well,
so
he's.
But like I've been a huge John Lithgow fan for years, and it's like. He's always so nice. So when he played Roger Ailes,
that makeup was great though, because he had like
the
this
jowl
jowl.
And yeah, you can almost not tell. But it's the same with both of them. You can almost not tell either one of them is the actor they're playing.
They're so good.
But this one is all from the female's perspective, and the other one's from Roger.
Charlize Theron's makeup, how they did a little stuff to her nose or something, because she did not look like she looked like the other lady completely.
Like Megan Kelly. I think she's Megan Kelly, right?
Yes, I think so. But man, it was really good. So you need to check out Bombshell. I think it's.
And I'm not a Nicole Kidman fan, but she's really good in the movie.
You do not like her at all.
Yeah, she's just the only movie she ever did that I really liked her in outside of this was BMX Bandits.
Wow, that's old.
She's a teenager.
Did you not like the others? That's one of my favorite
I don't
movies.
Like it. I think the movie's boring.
Oh, I love it. It's a slow burn.
BMX Bandits.
Wow, you are old. People are going to be like, "What's BMX Bandits?"
My friend Terry knows BMX Bandits.
BMX.
It's the 80s.
Oh my gosh, that's 1983.
Oh, I've seen that movie hundreds of times. That was a movie. It's an Australian movie.
Someone's gonna pop in and be like, "Yeah, like one of your friends."
That's an Australian movie, but it's one of those that came on TV all the time, and I watched it every day. It's about these three or four people, and they're like teenagers, but they're all BMX riders, and so they're.
I got that.
And she's one of them. She's one of the BMX riders, and so she gets out there, and. Then there's like mob and money, and they're chasing them, and they're doing tricks on their BMX bikes and whatnot. BMX Bandits is awesome.
Okay.
Cleaning the Cube is awesome as well.
Oh, there you go. See your people.
I like Time Rider. You know Time Rider?
I do not.
Time Rider is the one where the guy on his me and my dad saw that at the theater. I have it on Blu-ray. Where the guy on his motorcycle, he goes back in time on his dirt bike, and he's in the Western days.
Nice. All right, let's move on.
Not to be confused with the Dirt Bike Kid. That's Messy Marvin.
There's too many dirt bike movies.
Peter Billingsley, and I remember seeing the Dirt Bike Kid when I was a kid. I love that movie too.
Okay.
I go all day with these.
Let's keep going. Moving on. All right, now we got one other movie. It's a little independent film you may have heard of called Star Wars.
And that's why we're coming live from the Star Wars office of Bobby Blakely. That's me, in case you didn't know.
Time Bandits. Okay, thank you.
Time Bandits, yes. It's about all the little people.
There you go. Thank you. People are
catching up.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Let's talk about some Star Wars. And
what about thrashing?
No, Electric Boogaloo. No, thank you. All right, where are we starting?
That's Breaking.
Where are we starting?
All right, so
Breaking 2, is that the one
that's
where
Electric Boogaloo.
I know, but that's the one where they pan through the crowd at the end, and the lady's like this, and she's got like a tuft of like armpit hair.
Probably.
It is so gross.
The first Breaking is one that has appearance by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, at the end, and his little onesie tight thing. It's not okay. I mean, it is, but
at the very beginning of the movie.
Anyways, continue.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo has Ice-T in it too.
Okay.
But then not as popular.
We gotta move on.
Let's forget Star Wars. Let's talk about Breaking Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, we can talk about
Star Wars Episode 2, Breaking Boogaloo. Electric Boogaloo. Okay, so this week we have the finale of the 40-plus year Skywalker saga that started in 1977 with the original film Star Wars before they changed and added A New Hope to it. Now it's called Star Wars A New Hope, Episode 4, whatever.
Whatever.
And over time, we got the original trilogy, which most people hold sacred. Then years later, we all thought, I saw a funny meme about it because somebody was like, we're watching Return of the Jedi and watching the last Star Wars movie I'll ever get to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the prequel trilogy came, I think started in 1999. Now you're watching Revenge of the Sith, the last Star Wars movie I'll ever get to watch. And now here we are in 2019 watching Rise of Skywalker, the last Star Wars movie I'll ever get to watch. Right. But they've been, my problems with the promotions for this is they've been promoting as the final Star Wars film, and it's not. It's the final not. In the Skywalker saga. I know, because
then you see like people who don't follow movies are, oh my gosh, are you okay with the last?
That or they go, oh, they're just gonna make more because it's all about a cash grab for figures and products. Disney's not going to let this die. No, they're not, because this is the end of the Skywalker saga. Everything else they're doing is going to be new stuff in relation to. It'll probably still have stuff about the Empire and things in there, but it's going to be new parts of the galaxy. Anyway, that's not important. So let's do this. We're not going to go through every single movie necessarily because we don't have that time of our life.
Yes, we don't. Let me pull up a list then.
We're also going to go as spoiler free as we possibly can, because I personally believe everybody deserves to experience it. I don't care if it's the one from 1977 or you're experiencing the new one this week.
That to me is like, do not spoil Star Wars Episode 4, like the first one. Do not spoil.
There's nothing to spoil really in that movie.
Well,
it's more Empire Strikes Back.
No, because I feel like people should watch them in order.
Of when they release.
When they release.
Yeah.
Like if you have a kid, like that's going to be exciting.
See, like
little kids somewhere.
And see,
I'm gonna start with 4, 5, and 6.
That's the problem. Like
then we go back 1, 2, 3.
My kids were not big fans of the original trilogy because they looked old when they were little.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming up around the time of the prequels. The prequels looked fun and bright and silly, and you had Jar Jar and you had Darth Maul and you had all this new stuff.
Darth Maul.
And so that was theirs. And then since neither one of them really care about Star Wars now.
I know.
They enjoy them.
They think you're crazy with all this.
Well, they enjoy them still, and they want to watch them, but they're not.
Yeah, but you're like your child called. He's like, "Do you have this figure?" Because like
well, he was asking because he buys stuff for me.
I know.
No, I don't think that's what it is. It's they don't know what I have.
I know. Well, and that's like the hardest thing, trying to buy this guy Christmas stuff. So like.
In my defense, I haven't bought hardly anything in a long time.
I know, but we go to the store and you're like, I don't have this one. I'm like, how am I supposed to remember that? Do you see this room?
You show me one thing and you end up with it for Christmas, and you show me stuff for like months ago and I'll remember. You know why?
I don't buy
because
anything.
I clearly love you.
Whatever.
More.
Okay, you love me more. Fine.
You don't love me enough.
Oh Lord.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay, we got some.
Don't let me start on Baby Yoda. Oh my God.
No, don't go there.
That gets me so
Okay,
irritated.
So what we are going to go through every movie.
Okay, so we are going to go through the movies though, because first thing we need to do before we talk about the Rise of Skywalker. If you don't know what the Rise of Skywalker is, first of all,
where have you been?
I don't know what your problem is, but it's the culmination of not only the new trilogy, but all 9 movies, 10 if you want to count Rogue One, 11 if you want to count Solo, but the whole series that we've got, and this is the end, the finite end of that part of the story. That doesn't mean they couldn't still do a movie about Rey or Poe or whatever. I think all the actors have said they're done as well.
Okay.
But that stuff, they can still do some stuff with them if they wanted to. This is just no more Skywalker type.
Right.
And Vader, not maybe Vader, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So, let's do this. Let's talk about, instead of, everybody likes to post a list of rank your top to bottom of Star Wars movie. Instead, what I'd like to do is I'd like to rank your top to bottom per trilogy. So that's going to push Rogue One and Solo out.
Oh, but Rogue One's my favorite movie.
I'm aware. That's why I'm pushing them out.
You're a hateful
Rogue One's
man.
up on the top for me as well.
Hateful man.
I'm pushing that out. So let's start with the original trilogy. You got Star Wars, you got Empire Strikes Back, and you got A New Hope. I mean, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
You don't need to look at pictures. Look at me. Look at me. You live in a freaking house and you had to look it up. There's a whole hallway full of posters right here.
I can't see those. There's a glare.
You don't know what the posters are?
I'm going to pick.
You got Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars, New Hope.
I'm going to pick The Empire Strikes Back.
No, top 3. Pick an order. Put them in order, fool.
Okay, Empire Strikes Back,
Okay.
Return of the Jedi, and then Star Wars.
You put the original Star Wars at the bottom?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because I like the Tauntauns.
You know what? I'm gonna make a controversial statement.
What?
I love every Star Wars movie. Okay? I do. I love every single one of them that has come out. I recognize flaws in every single one of them that have come out. I recognize that some aren't as good as others, but I've never once walked out of a Star Wars movie unhappy.
True.
Okay? Now, I know not everybody has that mentality. I know everybody either can or refuses to because they have preconceived notions or they want something specific and they didn't get it. I get it. I'm not arguing that point. But I do find the original Star Wars movie kind of boring. I love the movie. It's iconic.
That's what I was saying. I feel like it's just
it's a great
going,
movie, but
so it's
Empire and Return of the Jedi, there's stuff happening. You already you know the characters. It's just like watching a lot of the Marvel movies. Is once you get past, like, I love the original Captain America movie, but I think Winter Soldier is such a better movie. You know, so it always freaks people out, or they get so upset when you say, well, you know, the original Star Wars I thought was a little boring. They're like, oh, I'm like, I still love the
We
movie.
still like it.
I love the movie. Don't get me wrong.
I like it, but you know what? Now I like it more because of Rogue One.
Because that adds elements.
It adds to it.
And I think
that was very dramatic.
But I think though I would probably place it slightly different than you. Empire's at the top. I think I would probably put the original Star Wars and then Return of the Jedi.
That's
Only because I love the original movie, and Return of the Jedi is a lot more entertaining movie. Like as far as things happening and fun. But there's that icon status. I think still won't let me put it.
Well, and I think for me, Return of the Jedi, why I made it number 2 is because there's more of an emotional thing of watching the movie with my brother, and he wanted to be Han Solo.
And you wanted to kiss your brother?
No, he was Han Solo. You know, like
he can't be Han Solo.
He wanted to be Han Solo. He had the cool shirt with the Han Solo guy. I mean, it was a whole thing. So to me, like the very first movie, obviously I didn't see it, and I don't remember it as much as the other 2 because once I was kind of few years older, then we started having Star Wars toys, and we had the Tauntaun, and we had all these things.
They're right here behind me, Star Wars toys.
There you go. So that's why. Anyways, okay, next trilogy.
Okay, so now we're going to the prequel trilogy, which most people hate.
Oh, Lord.
Now, we have Phantom Menace.
Yep.
You have Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
You got Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So what do we got here for you?
Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace.
I would have to agree with you.
3, 2, 1.
Well, Phantom Menace is, to me, the lowest Star Wars movie they've ever made. Not because I hate the movie, is because I think the movie is kind of dull because of all the political stuff. But I also recognize the necessity of the story they were telling.
Yeah, it's your story base. It's to build your story.
Like I love the pod race stuff. I love the.
And I don't like the pod race.
I don't understand how you
That's like a waste of 8 to 10 minutes.
It's not.
They're going in circles.
It's not. And you hate the stuff with the speeder bikes in Return of the Jedi too.
I hate that too.
I just don't think you like speed.
I don't feel the need for speed.
Do you like the movie Speed?
Yeah.
Because the bus is going too fast.
No, but because I like Keanu and I like Sandra Bullock.
It's
Keanu and Sandy. Oh, Sandy.
You're so dumb.
Drew loves the cute animals. Yes, I do. Thank you. BB-8 and his little friend. You mean Dio?
Yes, Dio is the newest one.
Goodness.
All right, so let's talk about the new trilogy.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this for you. We already know the answer, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Do you like Rogue One or Solo better?
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
I do not hate Solo. I think a lot of people did not like it.
I love Solo. It's such a it is an awesome, fun, unnecessary movie.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
It was a movie that didn't need to happen. I wasn't against it like a lot of crazy people were, but I was like, why are we making this movie? But then I watched it. I'm like, I can't wait to watch this movie.
And who I actually really like in the movie, which is surprising to me, even is what's his name? It just left my head. Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah,
I like him in that.
I like
movie.
Woody Harrelson and everything. Though.
I do, but he has such a dramatic thing. Like you see his love for what's her name? What's her name?
Oh crap!
Tandy.
Tandy Newton. I don't remember her name now.
It is Tandy Newton, right?
That's the actress's name. I thought you were about the character.
No.
Oh.
But that whole thing, and then the loss, and then still having to go through, and then just looking out for himself, and then coming back to. I mean, I feel like that whole thing sets up who Han Solo is as a person.
Well, I did like some of the stuff that. Han. I like getting to see, Donald Glover stole the show as Lando. I like the guy playing Solo, but for me, it was more about seeing Han Solo and Chewie meet for the first time, and seeing him and rescue him, and so it kind of gives context. There's a lot of fan service in that movie of, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to let you see the Kessel Run. We're going to give you all the things you've been hearing about for years, which a lot of people threw temper tantrums about. Oh, that's so stupid. Why do we need to see that? Yet, when you don't give them that stuff, they throw a fit about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So Rogue One is still up at the top. I actually have Rogue One and Empire about equal to me at the top of all of them.
That's good.
But part of Rogue One, outside of me loving the movie, is also my mad love for Donnie Yen. So that I'd already fell in love with that movie before it even came out. Because you gave me Star Wars and you gave me Donnie Yen. Hello. You go to Force Awakens, you got 2 guys from the raid too, or 3 guys from the raid. I'm like, hello. All right, so let's talk about the new trilogy. Before we talk about the new movie.
Oh my goodness.
What's wrong?
Okay.
Oh, so we have the Force Awakens.
Yep.
We got the Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
And we have the Rise of Skywalker. So where do you place them? Before we even talk about the Rise of Skywalker, where do you place them?
You know what? I'm gonna go controversial. Not really.
Ooh.
I like The Force Awakens. I'll put that at the top.
I
I actually like The Last Jedi.
love The Last Jedi.
So I'll make that number 2. And put this new one number 3.
Really? You put the new one at the low of that trilogy?
Yeah, because for me, I guess it solved a lot of issues. But that for me is the thing. It solved a lot of issues. I like movies that don't necessarily solve things. I like the ambiguity.
I know, but
And I
when you're
used to
finishing,
hate it. I
but when
used to
you're
hate not
finishing-
having an answer.
but when you're
But now
finishing
I
a
like
story, you have to have that because that's the whole point. Is finishing it now.
I know, but I like
Although,
the first one.
There's been an ongoing. We can't talk about it on the show, but I want to point it out loud to you.
Hmm.
There's an ongoing discussion we've been having since we saw The Rise of Skywalker, and I have a definitive answer for it because J.J. Abrams himself said it somewhere recently.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
I will.
Is it a question I had?
It was not. Well, it was a question.
Out of my 3 pages of notes,
It was
I
a
took at the
discussion we've
movie.
had, but it also is a question in the movie that is never answered.
Okay, good.
And it's the answer to the
Oh,
question.
because I've
And
been
so it's funny,
waiting.
is it's the answer to the question that was never answered, and it's the answer to the solution to the discussion we've been having, and they're both the same.
Oh, okay, good.
So, and I don't want to say that because we can't spoil
we
it
can't
to
tell you. But I liked The Force Awakens because I like the introduction of something new. We find out from where we've left, and Luke's gone, and now there's Rey, and I liked all that. I
and
liked
here's my
the
thing is,
introduction of a new story.
I love all of the new trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, there's elements like The Last Jedi. The only issue I have with The Last Jedi is the Canto Bright stuff I thought should have been cut down.
That's this.
But no, that's not even that. They don't do. That's not even in that really.
It's
But
just-
to me,
it was a little long.
Well, they had a definitive guy they were going to find. They find the guy, but then they pick some of this whole other stuff to give us a different guy to do the same thing. But that was my pee break part of the movie, right? So when I saw that movie 6 times in the theater, or 7 times anyway.
Yeah.
And every time I went after I saw it the first couple times, when I needed to go pee, I waited up
That's
Canto
what
Bright,
it-
and that was
yeah.
the time of going. But I love the direction. Was it the direction I thought we were going to go, and then I always had thought I was going to see from Luke? No.
No.
Do I agree with it? Absolutely. And I believe in what they did. I think the movie's beautiful. I love the chances they took with certain things. And I like it even more the way it plays into the new movie. And I know the arguments already have been, well, the new movie is just undoing what people hated about The Rise of the Last Jedi. It's fan service this, and it's shutting down this. And some of those elements
Maybe.
are probably true. But a lot of people, I think, are also forgetting that back when Force Awakens came out, they've been talking about how there's no cohesive story, was never built. Everybody's just making whatever movie they want to make. And there's probably, I'm assuming, some elements of truth to that. But when they made The Force Awakens, they announced Rian Johnson, they announced Colin Trevorrow, blah, blah, whatever his name is, who was going to do The Rise of Skywalker, and Rian Johnson was doing The Last Jedi. They had already said that they were already all working together for the story. When people started talking about who has Rey's parents in The Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams says, you have not seen who her parents are. They have not been in the movie yet. He said when this one came out at Celebration, when they debuted the trailer and we finally knew the Emperor was coming back, it's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer.
Well, and the Emperor was at Celebration. So
Yeah, so, but they did say, they said that his plan is always to have the Emperor return. So there's elements that I personally choose to believe that whatever connections everything had was always going to be that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not it was the same how they were going to get there is a different conversation.
Yeah.
Because when the different people, J.J. Abrams wasn't even supposed to direct the third one. It was Colin Trevorrow, and when he left over creative differences, they came back, they retooled the script, only left some of his stuff in it. His name is still in the credits, so they used some elements, some not. Carrie Fisher passing away changed the direction they were going to do that film.
A little bit.
Because, well, they said that she was supposed to be a Jedi Knight, have lightsaber moments, be a big point to the new movie. Of course, she passed away, so they couldn't do that. So now you have to change the story.
But I was happy by how much she was in the movie, by the way.
Yeah, she's only in the movie 5-10 minutes. No, she really is.
It feels like more, maybe because it's throughout.
It's throughout, and it's presence that she's there in
Yeah.
the important moments, but she's only in the movie like 10 minutes.
I guess.
But it doesn't feel like 10 minutes because they sprinkle her.
They sprinkle in.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get on to The Rise of Skywalker. So we're already talking about it. The controversial thing is most people like Force Awakens, but they didn't like the fact that it was just basically like a remake of Star Wars. because there's so many same, another star base, another same thing. They don't like the new characters because people don't want a black stormtrooper. They don't like a female powerful lead, despite those having Princess Leia already.
And that's the thing that just boggles my mind. Since the very beginning, we've had diversity. Maybe not in humans. We've had diversity in creatures, which I felt was indicative and representative of diversity itself.
Yeah.
And okay, maybe you only had one black man, which was Lando.
Yeah.
But it's also the 70s, and I feel like they were he was consciously trying to put it in.
I think it was the 80s because he didn't come in until.
Oh, whatever. We were trying to put diversity in. And so how come we can have like green creatures and that's okay?
Here's the
but the minute you have a black stormtrooper or a woman in the front,
here's the first problem. Disney bought it. And so immediately everybody lost their mind. Disney's going to ruin it.
Whatever.
Right? Because Disney ruins everything. But they
ruin princess movies, but nothing else.
but they also, it's okay that they also do all the Marvel stuff because they go, oh, Marvel Studios made that.
That's okay.
Well, Lucasfilm is still making these.
Yeah.
Disney's not making them. Lucasfilm is making them.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, who everybody's like, oh, she's horrible human. She did this. She's also produced some of the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Like before these movies. Like she's been around forever and people love movies that she's produced. But now that she's in charge of Lucasfilm and she's more in front, and now you have the Disney monster and George Lucas is not there anymore. So the God is gone. Now it's like the evil's behind it. The evil corporation is going to ruin it. And then the whole thing with, presidential stuff, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, all these things have basically taken on lives. I agree. I'm not
I know.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying everything all these things that have happened have now created this division of people either, like I still watch Star Wars or anything else for that matter for the love of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I respect other Star Wars fans that say, I don't like what they did with Luke, or I don't like that they did this with Han, or they don't, I wanted this and I didn't get this. I get it. I respect it. I don't like, or I don't agree with when people are like just mad because it's a female lead. They start throwing this Mary Sue nonsense around. And if you use the term Mary Sue, to me, you're automatically a moron. Ooh, and because that or SJW, like, you're ridiculous. Like, I'm not saying this stuff doesn't exist. Like Charlie's Angels, we discussed on this show, was very much
a little bit too much.
Movie that they were forcibly forcing the women agenda, or women empowerment, not agenda, empowerment down your throat without making it balanced. It could have been a great movie. It was a movie that irritated people because it was a bad movie, not because
there were elements that were good.
Yeah, not because of just
Kristen Stewart was actually good.
Yeah, not because of the women empowerment didn't make it bad. It just wasn't that good of a movie.
And I thought what's her name was horrible. So
who?
The main lady, the writer lady.
Oh, Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
So anyway, so going into like this trilogy, I get people's division I get people's division on their stories and the characters and what they may or may not have liked.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't care for all these people that throw their fit about, and they're mad about whatever.
Just to hate.
But I am surprised about some people that I know that were hardcore Star Wars fans that they may not go in that angry mob group, just hater trolls, but how divided they are on the movies. Like, we used to bond over the fact that me and some people we loved the prequels and the original while everybody else hated the prequels, right? So you come into the new one, and now I'm hearing them talk about, they're basically acting like the other people about the prequels now on certain things. Mm-hmm. So not to me, but just I see them post things or I hear them say stuff, and they're entitled to their opinion, but it baffles me. Anyway, so we go into Rise of Skywalker. We got to, J.J. Abrams has a really, really big thing he's got to do that's no possible way he can make everyone happy.
Oh, never.
He's got to wrap up 40 plus years.
Yeah.
Answer unanswered questions.
And make it all connect.
Rights that were wrong, depend on how you look at it, from the original trilogy, the prequels, the new films.
Bring it all together.
And you got to finish the stories of these new characters.
Yep.
So I know everybody wanted the adventures of Luke, Han, and Leia again, but I tell you what, I have no interest in watching 70-year-old people fly around in space and fight a war, because real life tells me those people are not going to win a war.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching a 900-year-old Yoda or 600, whatever it was. I don't mind a 250-year-old Wookiee, because they're not people.
Yeah.
But Luke and Han and Leia, there are days behind him. I love seeing Lando on screen, but the guy struggles to get around.
Yeah,
you know?
he does. Poor thing.
And that's not the movie I want to see. I want to see them still be the way I remember them, and I think this trilogy has given them that way outside of, where they took Luke. But I understood Luke's issue in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think what they did with him in this one was a nice twist of him evolving. And most people are going to say, well, they're just undoing what Rian Johnson did. I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as he listened to Yoda.
Yeah.
And he learned from his mistakes.
Yeah, finally. Because in what was...
Return of the Jedi?
No. Yes.
Are you talking about what she said to run away?
No.
Oh.
I'm thinking in The Last Jedi. Going back to the very beginning in episode 4. And the same thing comes around when Yoda tells him in Last Jedi, still looking to the horizon instead of what is in front of your face. He had not changed in 20 years. He was still,
40 years.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yoda was trying to teach him a lesson and he still hadn't learned it. And so I feel like finally through the course of that movie, he learns.
Well, because he was scared. And this one he admits to being, they go back to hear him and he admits to being scared and afraid of whatever. And you get that and why he did what he did to die and everything.
You totally understand. I mean, to me, it makes sense. Okay, it's not what you wanted. Okay. But I think it goes back to the thing that we all know about humans. Humans don't really change.
No.
You can learn to change. You can learn to modify.
I think the problem with everything is we have a preconceived notion of what a Jedi is supposed to be.
Yes.
We have a preconceived notion of the Sith and these characters are. And we forget that they're still human beings as people. Like, I know they're movie characters.
Yeah.
But if you want to go with fake storytelling, then okay, let's always make everybody rise above everything. But if you want to go out real life, I know people that I've looked up to for years and years, they fall sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they rise back up to be better people, or they crash and burn and become the villain that we all fear.
I mean, it's art imitating life. And I'm sorry if it's not 100% roses, but.
So what I found interesting is some of the stuff they did with The Rise of Skywalker. I love The Rise of Skywalker. If I have to rank them, I would probably, The Last Jedi is probably at the top for me of the new trilogy, outside of Canto Bright.
Outside of that part.
I don't hate that part either. It's just that down part.
Yeah.
But again, it's because it was so different and they swung for the fences. Not everything worked, but for the most part, I'm like, I love seeing the journey of these characters going a direction I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Because every other movie, I know exactly who's going to live. I know exactly who's going to die. I know exactly, they're going to get out of this time, But not since Empire did I feel like, oh my God, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
Because in Empire, when it ended in Han's and Carbonite, are we going to see Han again? We find out what we find out. I'm not even going to spoil that part. We found out about Luke and Vader, and we found out all these things. I'm like, how can this changes everything?
Do you think you watch these movies in the eyes of a child? Do you?
Most people do.
Okay.
I don't think I do anymore because I'm not one of the people that have that weird belief of you rape my childhood. And, now I know there's certain movies like you revisit that you love as a child and you tell everybody about, oh my God, this is one of my favorite movies. And then you watch it and you're like, this movie is shit.
Which is, I'll tell you which one is my dad's favorite movie.
Star Wars?
Yep. It's the one where, it's probably episode 2 or 3, where Yoda's fighting, what's his name? And he's flipping all around.
That would be the Attack of the Clones.
Okay. That's one my dad.
Why? Because he likes Yoda?
Yeah, he likes Yoda.
My mom loves Yoda too.
And he just saw it on TV, I think. And he's like, I'm Mihai. I say Yoda. But he's like, the Yoda, the Jedi. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah.
My mom cried
I'm like, oh my
her
gosh.
eyes that bawled when Yoda died in Return of the Jedi when I was a kid. And he fades away. The only thing probably missing was her turning into the lady with her kids shot down in the streets and going, no! That mentality. I was like,
okay,
anyway,
sorry.
Back to Rise of Skywalker.
Digress.
I felt that this movie did a great job. It's a little rushed, but I found as I've watched it more often,
to me,
it doesn't feel as rushed now that I know where we're going.
Yeah.
But they do rush a little bit because they're packing so much into 2.5 hours, a little under 2.5 hours to tell the story. But I liked that we're getting a little bit of everybody.
I like that we watching. It's moving. Like we're moving.
It is.
That's how I like a movie to go.
Well, and that's what's funny is you have a movie like a lot of people said The Last Jedi was boring and slow. And then you go back. This movie moves too fast. Too much happening. Like we don't know anything about these people. Then we start telling you about the people. I don't care about these people. It's a lose-lose thing, and there was a lot of stuff they kind of overturned, if you want to look at it that way. I felt they evolved some issues that were not issues or story elements of Last Jedi. I like some callbacks to The Force Awakens. There was one major wrong that I will refer to it as a wrong, all the way back to the original Star Wars film that most fans have always been angry about, that is fixed in this movie.
Okay.
And I have to tell you off because I'd have to tell you what I'm talking about to say this stupidest post I've ever seen. Because I'm not gonna tell you the post, but it's one of these things where somebody posts and they explain something from a movie, and you're like, you really needed that explained? It was pretty clear. Like, there's a whole thing about the opening of the movie and what planet that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what planet that is?
When we start this movie?
The very beginning of the movie. Do you have an idea? You don't have to say it, but do you have an idea? Do you remember where it starts? I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, tell me, because
I've been meaning to ask you that scene to see. I want you just off your head, tell me what it is, and I can show that you're smarter than people that's supposed to know this crap.
Are we in the forest or in the jungle?
We'll talk about it in a minute afterwards, because I don't want to
tell me later.
So anyway, let's do this,
attention.
because this movie is hard to spoil or hard to talk about without spoiling.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil.
There's a lot of action. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of elements of reminding the characters why they're doing and that they're doing. They're fighting for what they're fighting for. I will say that Chewbacca and C-3PO get a lot to do this time around.
Yes.
They get some great moments. I think all the characters get some great moments. Who is your favorite character of the new trilogy?
Poe.
Why is that?
Because he's from Guatemala.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Second, I would probably say Finn.
Because he's black?
Yes. No, but because I feel like
Chicken Night?
he has no idea where he's from, where his people are from. He's been brainwashed into being this. He gets the courage to be his own person. And to me, that is an amazing transformation of a human being, that you've been told one thing, but he realizes, I am not the story I was told.
Well, I like that's touched on in this movie in a nice way, without still revealing anything about him, because there's nothing to reveal.
Yeah.
But they deal with it through another person that makes him realize I'm not alone.
Exactly, and you're
not alone. Which I thought was great.
And then I feel like, well, we know he has a little force sensitivity, or he believes in something. So seeing someone that was stuck in this, now become a new person, now believe in something, he's grown throughout.
Now, you do know that there's a difference, just for discussion, anybody watching.
Oh, Lord,
there's
here
a
we
difference.
go.
No. There's a difference between a force user and being force sensitive.
He's force sensitive.
Force sensitive are people like Chirrut Imwe and Maz Kaneda.
Yes, she knows
people like
force.
that are in tune with it.
Jedi.
They don't use it, but they can feel it and they know it.
They can feel it. Feel the
which is another discussion we keep having, because she keeps going, I think he's a Jedi.
I think he could be.
But he's not. Anyway.
I think Chewbacca's a Jedi. I think everyone's a Jedi.
Well, there are Jedis of every
Jedi.
There are Jedis of every species. There's Gungan and Sith.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's going to be Jar Jar.
There's a moment in the movie where Jar Jar shows up as a Sith. It's amazing.
It's so cool. Anyways.
He doesn't.
Anyways, they had little holes in his hood so his ears could go through. It's the coolest thing ever. Anyway,
right, so did you feel like it was a...
And then Rey is my third. Which I guess you expect Rey to be my first.
You put her on the bottom because she's a woman.
Yes, I do. That's what I'm thinking. You probably expect her to be my first.
I really like... And I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan. I hated BB-8 in The Force Awakens.
I know.
I'm a fan now, but I was not a fan of Adam Driver as. First of all, I wasn't a fan of him casting as Kylo Ren. Even though I didn't know anything what he was doing, I was like, what? What's he going to play first? And then when I saw Force Awakens, I was like, He was good in the role, but I was just like, I love him. And I think it's because I saw him in so many different things between them.
Yes.
And I started realizing how great an actor he really is.
That movie where he's on the priests with him.
Silence?
Yeah.
Is it Silence?
I think so.
With him
and that guy right there.
Andrew Garfield or who?
Oh.
What are you pointing at?
I feel like it looked like him, but yeah, that is such a good movie. Y'all need to watch that.
I don't think it's Ewan McGregor. I think it's Andrew Garfield.
It is.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yes, Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver. And Liam Neeson. That's what I'm pointing at right there.
Oh, I don't have my glasses on.
Such a good movie.
He's great in this movie. Patterson. He's great in the movie with Jason Bateman about the family with the dad passed away or whatever.
Yes. Oh,
He's got a
such
Marriage
good
Story
one.
out now. We haven't watched. We were supposed to. We didn't get time to. But he's such a great actor.
He's a good actor.
And
Give him a chance.
He's the one character in the movie that's gotten a lot to do.
Yeah.
Like emotional
Yes.
different directions between fighting for his inner struggles of good and bad and wanting power and not wanting power.
And I think I've changed my mind. There's I'm not going to spoil it. There's one point in the movie where he's just like,
oh, his face.
and it was driving me insane the first time. But by the third time, I was telling someone.
I want to ask you this. Because I'm going to say in a way that it doesn't
me.
spell anything. Is it in one of the water sequences?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was looking for it when I saw it today.
Did you notice it this time?
Well, I saw which one I thought might be it, but I understood why he was doing it at that moment.
I do now.
Okay.
I get it now. And I was telling our friend Bill, he's like, I think I need to watch it again. And I told him, I said, by the third time, everything clicked for me.
I love that you just nonchalantly said by the third time. So in case you don't know,
we've watched it multiple times.
The movie came out Friday.
Okay. It's only Sunday.
Technically, it came out Thursday night.
Okay.
But I've seen it 4 times.
Oh my gosh, you have a problem.
Somebody else told me I had a problem.
I know.
But we had a screening of it on Tuesday, so we got to watch it.
Which we didn't know we were going to get. So that's why we had pre-bought our tickets.
We have a tradition that started with The Force Awakens.
Yep.
That I guess we can spawn in it because we can't really say much else about the movie itself.
Yeah, just go watch it.
I loved it. I think it's a fitting in. I have a lot of friends that weren't always happy with a lot of the choices made and stuff, but they felt good and it was a good fitting. It's one of those things that, man, turn your mind off. Just go in there and watch a Star Wars movie. Like I have another friend that hated the first half, but the second half, his exact quote was something like, his quote was something like, the first half was a mess, the second half was Star Wars.
There you go.
So
that's good.
Just go watch it and have fun with it. Like don't dwell on the last movie and oh my God, should I just watch the new one, have fun with it, and then if you hate it, go back and watch the ones you like.
Buy a cool Star Wars tin and eat some popcorn.
My biggest thing is if you hate one, instead of bashing it, go enjoy the one you like and tell people. Like there's people on Twitter. I saw one guy post on Twitter and he listed spoilers from the movie. Just like I'm talking blatant. This person dies. This person's related to this person. This person.
Why would you do that?
It's just being a jerk.
Oh my gosh.
Just because.
They should block him.
Well, I think I was going to do it and I'm like, I just don't care anymore. I'm just like, people are stupid.
No.
But then you have other people that argue the point of like, if you don't want spoilers, you shouldn't be online. Like that makes it okay.
It's not okay.
So anyway, where were we going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, so we have
I'm just sitting here, buddy.
I'm sorry, I spun off. We have a tradition that started with The Force Awakens.
Yes, there we go.
That we always go to the Thursday night showing, usually the late one because I have to teach a class. And then we go daytime the Thursday night we always try to see the big of the IMAX, Dolby, something like that.
Something big.
And then Friday we go lunchtime to the Alamo Drafthouse so we can watch the fun little vignette things they put together,
have food,
have lunch, and that kind of thing.
You can get your glass,
so
your
back in
items. Glasses.
I think it was October, October, I think. Whenever the tickets went on sale, this one jumped right in. I was teaching class. I had my alarm set to reminder. They went on sale early.
They went on early.
She was already on, and she's like, I'm looking. I'm like, well, this was when he sold that. She goes, got it already. I'm like, honey, no, I'm looking at it right now. No, I got it. Don't worry about it. So she was on it. So with the press screenings, I can usually guarantee screenings of almost every movie that comes out. Star Wars, I didn't get one for The Force Awakens, but I've gotten one for every one since. So I just don't assume I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And then we got the screening, and ironically, it fell where we could go during the day. And it was a crazy turmoil time this whole week. So we saw it Tuesday, then we saw it Thursday night, then we saw it Friday during the afternoon, and then I saw it again this morning. And I will see it for the next 3 Sundays as well. But there's a reason. It's not because I just love Star Wars.
He does, but
it's actually because there's specific posters that they only give out at AMC for IMAX showings on Sunday. They've done this with every film since Force Awakens. I have the entire set of all of them. Solo, I think, did 2 posters. Rogue One, I think, did 4. And all the regular movies have done 4. They have the same artist on all 3 of the movies, so they match.
Oh, that's cool.
So today I got this. But we're going to show you some swag.
I'm going to see your poster.
I'll show you
and I'm looking over here. Where are you going to put it? You're almost.
I've already got a plan.
Oh, okay.
Don't you worry, sister. Because it's gonna be the last one, so I only got that.
True.
But I still got to find not a full-size poster to fill down there. Because it's the first time they didn't send me posters to give away, and so I have a teaser. My staircase comes up one side this way starts at episode 1, comes all the way up to Rogue One, then it jumps across Empire, and it goes all the way back down to ends with the Rise of Skywalker at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a poster right now, but it's just the Star Wars logo with Rise of Skywalker in space. I got to find the official poster. But anyway,
Christmas is coming, guys.
it is.
You can send it over.
So let's talk about some real quick. One that we didn't buy. I almost bought it today, and I still can't bring myself to pay $50 for it. There's it's pretty badass. So it's an R2D2. It's about this big, something like that, at AMC, and it is a dual drink holder / popcorn holder. So at the back of it opens up, so you put your popcorn in it.
His butt opens.
Yeah, his butt opens, and then his head comes off, and there's like a cup holder in it. So you put the cup in it, put the head on the straw, stick up the top. So you can be all like, that looks really gross. I just realized how gross that looked. So, but that's nothing compared to the Angelica, which I don't think is the only theater.
Gosh,
they have lightsabers that look like bongs that have straws sitting on them. And it's like,
it's not okay. That's a cut.
Somebody took a picture of the poster and says, they're calling these lightsabers now. That's not what I called it in college. But what we did get, I keep spilling stuff over here. Let's move this out of the way. So what I did get at the Angelica, or you got.
What I got.
This before we saw the other one. We saw this one, which is just a little cute.
His head's not on straight.
I know, because I just kicked him. This one is just a normal little popcorn bucket. She got popcorn, had popcorn in it. Yeah, we were standing in line for the press to go in, and it was sitting like this. And I'm like, honey, their head's wrong. And she goes, how do you even know?
Such a nerd. So I married a nerd.
Yeah, and yet you jumped on it and said it was wrong.
I know, because now.
So we got this little coat that says a little Rise of Skywalker on it. This was only like $10. That other big one's like $50.
Yeah.
And I can't bring myself to spend that money yet.
Okay, this is enough.
So, but yeah, so I don't know if this was exclusive to any specific place. It didn't really say. And the lights are. Oh, let me see. Hand wash only in cinemas. Nope.
Well, there you go. So, if you see it, there you go.
And I think Regal Cinema had the lightsaber ones that this Angelica had as well, so maybe they have this one too. So that's that one.
Okay.
Then with the Alamo Draft House, they have been putting out Mondo glasses and collector books and whatnot.
Who's this Mondo person?
It's Mondo is actually, I thought it was an individual. I think it's a collective of artists.
Yeah, no, I'm not down for the $50.
Yeah. So anyway, so we got this cool book, collector's book. I'm moving it forward out of the light a little bit. Hopefully you can see it. This is the collector book. It's got Ray on the front, Kylo on the back. It's got all kinds of little vignette stuff in here. One of the coolest things about this, I turned back to it. This right here, got a little cartoon strip in it. This right here, my buddy David DeGrand, who's a Mad Magazine artist and great cartoonist, draws for SpongeBob and Garfield and all this stuff. He did this great little cartoon. There's also up there that he did that Jabba the Hutt that's up there too. One of his original pieces hanging in my office. You can't see it, but you just follow my arm and you'll find it. So anyway, this my wife got for me with the pre-order of the Alamo Draft House.
Yes, and you know what? I was on there and I was clicking and adding, and then people show up at the theater and they're like, I want one of those. And he's like, sorry, you had to pre-order.
Oh, did that happen when you were there?
Yes. The lady's like, well, what about that book? You had to pre-order. If there's any left, this is my favorite picture. Oh, yeah. And if no one buys it, you can come back later. But he goes, maybe 2 weeks after the film.
Yeah. Which they always get the Life
Day.
Chewbacca and family. But that's not all. Wait.
There's more.
They've been putting out glasses every year. This year we got 2. I think we had 2 with The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. No, we had 2 with The Force Awakens, I think, and 4 with The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
But we got 2 this time. We got a light side and dark side. So we got the Rey here. It's got Finn and Chewbacca and Rey, and you got some Leia action and some Poe action here. But even cooler that we just noticed is you got the cool. Make sure it's on the right side. You got the cool logo here in the middle of it. You can barely see it here.
So cool.
I don't know if you can see it on both sides or not.
Yeah,
we didn't even notice it until I was just set up for the show. So there's this one. If you look this way, you can see it better. All right. And then you have the dark side glass that you've got. Which ones do we have? We got some Knights of Ren on here. We've got the Stormtroopers, First Order Stormtroopers. We got the Star Destroyers. We got, man, they gave me a big old nose. They got Adam Driver, and we got General Hux. We got the Emperor. We got everybody on here. And just like the other one, you got like a little First Order symbol thing in it, so you can see it. So these are really cool. So I have a whole collection of these in the bathroom.
That we never use.
Yeah, I have a bathroom up here that's my own personal bathroom.
We have a whole set of glasses we don't use.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
I'm not sure where the issue is here.
No, that's fine.
But that's not all.
There's more?
There's more. So if you didn't get to go today, don't worry. Well, you might have to worry. A lot of times they still have posters left over in the past few years. So today was the first one. So if you missed today, go on AMC on Sundays. Get an IMAX ticket. It's only for IMAX. If you try to go to Dolby or the standard screenings, you can't get the posters. IMAX only. What is it?
IMAX only.
Okay, so here's the first poster. Here's
that's pretty cool.
Pretty nifty.
That's nice.
So it's a cool poster if you want to see it. It's a nice little Kylo Ren and Rey on the destroyed Death Star that you see in the trailers. They're squaring off. So I don't know what the next ones are, but that's the first one. It says 1 of 4 right here. And it says IMAX on the poster, so you can't be all like, I didn't know that was going to be the IMAX one. It's right here. And they're all little small ones, and they're nice, heavy.
Okay, so fix this.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So far, that's the only swag we picked up because I didn't buy any of the other weird stuff.
Yeah, we weren't spending $50.
I still might, though.
Yeah, I know. He's probably going to.
After they break me down over the third or fourth showing because the movie's so long.
All right, next.
So let's move on.
We're moving on. Thank you so much. Please go see
Rise. We love the Rise of Skywalker. I love the ending of it. I love the stories. I love all things Star Wars. And if you want me to argue about whatever, I will have a discussion, an argument with you. Why I think you're wrong.
Did you see this?
Yes, I did see that, and it looks amazing.
It'll be in the news.
But it's going to probably be very expensive.
Tell us about it. Is that your news item for today? Did you have a news item?
I don't tell news items on this show.
Oh, well.
Don't you?
You're a dummy.
Your face is stupid. All right, so you want to move on what's out and everything?
Yes, tell me what's coming out.
So this week it's a little small on the releases on Blu-ray and stuff because of it being Christmas week. So they don't usually release a ton of stuff. I believe we have the Gallows. Where's that? I don't know what's back here. I can't reach it. Hold on. I got a few things. So we have the Gallows Act 2 coming out. Okay. Part 2 coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. We're also giving away copies of these on our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
We also have the movie Judy coming out that we'll probably talk about next week.
Yeah.
Starring Judy Tenuta and Judi Dench. And
oh my gosh, you're so
is there any other Judys we know? Are those the only 2 Judys that exist?
I think so.
All right, so Judy Tenuta and Judi Dench and the all-new Fox comedy Judy's that duties. Judy's Duties, and it's about a lady who works in an office.
Oh.
It's Judy Tenuta, and she works for Judi Dench.
Wow. Anyways, continue.
Anyway, it's starring Renee Zellweger, the one that's got the lemon face, playing Judy Garland. There's also Adopt a Highway, starring Ethan Hawke, coming out. There's some anime stuff coming out that I don't know anything about. And I think that's all for the Blu-ray stuff.
All right. Coming out at the theater for Christmas week, we have Little Women, which it says the beloved story. I'm
against this movie because clearly it's about women only.
I was just never a fan. I felt like I was forced to read it in school, so I was just never a fan of the story. Whatever. I mean, you know what it is. Spies in Disguise. It's the animated feature starring Will Smith and Tom Holland.
About a super spy that gets turned into a pigeon.
Yep. And then
it actually looks kind of fun.
A Hidden Life. It's a story about some guy rescuing people from Nazis.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
It looks heavy, but it could be really good, I feel like. So those are our big nationwide releases.
There's another really big nationwide release.
What's that?
Ip Man 4, the finale.
It says it's in limited release.
It's still getting this wide release because that's the only release it's getting theatrical.
Oh, well, go find it.
And so here's the deal.
Go find it.
If you've never seen Ip Man 4, any of the other Ip Mans or first, you're
You need to watch all of them.
But you can technically watch it and follow whatever's happening without missing too much.
Yeah, but don't be that person.
No, you should watch story because it makes more context of what it is. But I'm kind of helping out. It's not on our actual website. I'm just making this announcement. I'm kind of helping out Go with some of the promotions for Ip Man 4. So if you have a martial arts school out there and you're willing to put a Ip Man 4 poster in your school, let me know. I can send you a free poster to hang it up. Send me a picture of you hanging in your school. Also, if you take students or a group of you go see Ip Man 4 in the theater, if you can find it, take a picture of yourself with the poster at the theater with your group, or send me pictures of all the ticket stubs, and you get into a contest to win an Ip Man 4 poster signed by Donnie Yen. Also, I think a steelbook edition of Ip Man. I don't know if it's a collection or just a single one yet. And I believe I think they said a $50 Amazon gift card as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty big promotion. They're pushing the final movie in the franchise. I love the movie. We'll talk about it. Or I'll be talking about it on Martial Arts Movie Mondays probably. Yeah. And I'll probably re-talk about it a little bit with you because hopefully I'd like to find it and go see it in theater because we got to see the third one in the theater. I've already seen it, but I watched it on a digital screener. And I'd rather see it on the big screen.
I agree. So. Well, and then it says limited release, but you need to go find this. Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, and Brie Larson. It is based on the true life story of a lawyer, Brian Stevenson, who goes to help, I guess, these people who nobody wants to help. Yeah. You know,
it opens wide, like I think on the 10th.
Following.
Excuse me, on January 10th. So if you can't find it limited, have no fear, you'll find it.
It is a really good, powerful story. You've got to watch. It made me angry.
Did it make you hangry?
It made me hangry. I'm hangry right now.
So we need to tell you about some contests we have going.
Yes, tell me.
So as I already mentioned, we've got the Gallows Act 2. We're giving away Blu-ray copies of that. This contest will end probably by the end of this week, so we'll get them out right after Christmas. But bigger than that, we're also giving away digital copies of Maleficent.
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 Say it right.
Poppy's Chicken. Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Maleficent. Mistress of Evil. I only say it this way to annoy you to no end. We're giving away digital copies, not DVDs, not Blu-rays, digital copies. So I've had a few people, I get them, and then they're like, what is this? I said, it's exactly what I told you it was going to be. It's digital copies of this. And it's already come out in the theaters, but I know not everybody saw it. We still have a few. Gave away a whole bunch already, but I've still got a few Fandango tickets for Star Wars The Last Jedi left. So
a free movie ticket, you guys.
This is not for a screening. This is not a special pass that you can only go a certain theater, a certain time. This is a Fandango digital code that is good for up to $15 value at any theater that you can buy on Fandango to watch The Rise of Skywalker.
For free.
And it's good until March 20th.
You can watch it for free.
If you say, well, I'm not going to enter because I'm busy during Christmas and New Year's. Well, guess what?
You can
watch
later.
it after. So I just have a few left that I'm giving away. And once they're gone, they're gone. So get your order on. I'm not, because the movie's already out, you don't even have to wait for it to come in the mail. I will email you the code so you can buy it right away. All right? That's what I did with everybody else. I've got some people already saying, I'm off work. I'm going on this certain day. So people already decided.
Free movie tickets.
That's right. We don't get to give away straight up free movie tickets. Sometimes we have screening passes.
Yeah, sometimes it's those that you have to go wait in line and hope you get in.
Yeah, this is a for sure done deal, people. Done deal.
Come on now. I know some of y'all haven't seen it yet. I know someone on here who hasn't seen it because they're like.
Scroll back now. Oh, sorry.
So there you go. All right. What else we got?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live.
And I guess before you do all the plugs, when we come back next week, not only will it be after Christmas, it'll be our last show of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about our top 10 films of the year.
Are we going to do our Christmas show? Or a Christmassy show like we did last time where we had pajamas and cocoa and like Christmas morning show?
I'm sure. I don't even remember doing that because I probably did that against my will.
Yes, I had Hello Kitty pajamas.
Yeah, so that was probably forced upon me.
Who knows?
So, but anyway, we will be talking about our top 10 films of the year next week.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready.
I have already got my list ready that started in August.
I'm going to look at the entire list of movies that came out.
Mine started in August and then it's been getting updated all year long.
I know which ones I like, but I got to go through the entire list. Oh my god.
Do you want to give a tease and say name one movie that you think is your favorite outside of the one that's the obvious one?
Book Smart.
That's going to be one on your top 10?
Yeah, for sure. What do you think is obvious for me?
The horror one we talk about all the time.
Horror. Which one?
As far as Pew.
Oh, I love.
We already know that's going to be on there, but you mentioned. Now you gave.
Sorry.
Two. You don't know how to follow.
It may not work because there's so many good.
You don't know how to follow rules. Follow rules.
It may not make it to top 10. That is such a hard thing to pick your top 10.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, just to give you a heads up. I'm going to have my top 10, and I'm going to have my 5 honorable mentions.
Because we only did 3 last year.
Well, those 5 were 5s that were on the top 10 that got bumped by other things. So I'll give you one of my top 10, which I've already mentioned on this show, is The Art of Self-Defense. down there.
So weird.
But you haven't seen yet still, so we may have to watch it.
But it's funny. Your dad liked that movie.
That when you see it, you're going to be even more baffled by that.
I am baffled already.
That's why you need to watch it out. Forget that I like it. You need to watch it to try to figure out why would your dad like this.
Likes this. I should watch this.
Because when he told me, he goes, "Oh, I love that movie," and I was like, "You." Anyway, do your plugs.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Thank you for watching us on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter and on Instagram at Hollywood Matter, MATR.
And don't forget to join me tomorrow for an all-new episode of Martial Arts Movie Mondays, which, as I already mentioned, I don't normally tell you ahead of time what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to be taking a deep dive into the Ip Man saga. We got 4 regular movies, and we got our Master Z spinoff Ip Man movie that are all part of the same story arc. So we're going to talk about all that tomorrow. And then we'll come back in for TV Tuesdays on TV Tuesday. We did not do one last week.
I had no idea we didn't
Well,
do one
we had our screening for Rise of Skywalker during the day. We rushed home. Then we had to go to her Christmas dinner.
That's what happened.
And we got home.
Oh, we had the best Brussels sprouts ever.
No, we didn't. And then we got home, and she goes, "I'm going to bed."
I completely forgot.
So I'm sitting here going,
so
she says, "I'm going to bed." I'm like, we didn't do our show. I almost did the show laying next to her while she was asleep in bed. Just
you should have.
But we didn't do
I
it.
would have talked to you.
No, I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to start doing the show. And then have you suddenly go, who are you talking to? And be like, the world.
I would have done the
You got a bugger in your eye or whatever. But we will do another episode. It'll be Christmas Eve. So I don't know when we'll do it. I don't know what time. I don't know if we'll do it in between.
We can do it with leftovers.
I don't know if we'll do it in between my family and your family.
I think we should do it in between.
If we'll do it late night show when everybody can check it out. But either way, we will be doing a TV Tuesday somehow, some way. And then we'll circle back in our old studio for next Sunday's all new episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Well, like I said, we'll be talking about whatever movies we see, as well as the top 10 movies of the year, what to look forward to for the new year, and movies that are coming out. And we may even talk about our favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah, there you go. I know which one mine is.
I'm so tired of you.
It's a Christmas Prince. Not really.
This show has now been canceled.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. I got to get up.
Peace and love. Peace and love. I don't even know if I can work here. Oh, yeah. Peace out from Bobby Station.